Okay, morena koutou. My apologies for the start. We've had a few technology issues. Just to introduce myself briefly, my name is Julie Gardine. I'm Deputy Chief Executive here at Taupō District Council. I will be in this seat until we work through the first agenda item, which is the election of the chair. But before we get into the meeting, I would like to start in our normal way and just ask who would like to open this meeting with a karakia, please.
I can go. Karakia Timatanga, Whiwhira, I te hui o te ao. Whakataka te hau te uru, whakataka te hau te tonga, kia mā kina ki ita, kia mā taratara ki ta. E hia ki ana te atukura, I tio, e huka, e hauhu, whihai, ai ngātua.
So this is obviously the first meeting of the Lake Protection Project Joint Committee for this triennium. So there's a few new faces down the table. So if we can start with a bit of whakawhanongatanga, that would be great. So perhaps not right.
Good koutou. Councillor Joel Williamson, fourth term Taupō District Councillor, and my fourth term as a member of the Lake Protection Project Committee.
Tātai ko piki ko tokunga, he uri au ngati te pai tō, ngati te maunga te hafu, I'm here representing Chikarapō.
Morning, Michael Downer, first team Waikato Regional Councillor, representing the Taupō Board.
With Pete, representative for the Trust Board in a couple of terms.
Morena koutou, Stu Kneebone. I farmed at Cambridge. I'm an elected councillor for the Waikato Regional Council, actually in the Waipa King Country constituency, but obviously here representing the regional council. I've just started my first term on here.
Kia ora koutou, ko Kylie Leonard ahau, Taupō District Council, Rural East Ward. Like Stu, we're also farmers out to the west of Taupō. Kia ora.
And then I'll hand to the screen and then we'll let the team introduce themselves. So perhaps if we can start with Lorena.
Tēnei te mihi kia koutou e tēnei ata, ko Lorena Stephen tōku ingoa, e mahi ana ahau I te tari o Manatū mō te taiao. So I'm Lorena Stephen and I work for the Ministry for the Environment. Kia ora.
And Tim?
Kia ora koutou, Tim Bennett. I also work for the Ministry for the Environment and I'm on the officials working group.
Kia ora, Tim. And Gwyn?
Kia ora everyone, Gwyn Morgan. I work for MPI. I'm the North Island Regional Manager. Used to be on the officials working group, but got bumped up into this seat when my predecessor resigned last year. So good to be here.
Kia ora, Gwyn. Thank you. And a number of staff in the room, including myself. It's unusual to be in this chair, but I promise we won't be there too long as we work through the agenda. So thank you very much for that. So in terms of order of business for today, first order of business is actually our apologies. Any apologies? None. Excellent. Confirmation of the agenda. And finally, disclosure of any conflicts of interest. So is there any conflicts of interest in relation to today's agenda or decisions that anyone wishes to disclose? Now, James has very kindly reminded me that I'm not used to being in this chair, so I do need a mover and a seconder in relation to confirmation of the agenda and disclosure of interests.
I'm happy to move.
Thank you. Thank you. And confirmation of the minutes of the last meeting.
Oh, excuse me, Chair, it's Lorena here. For some reason, I don't have a pack So I'm struggling to follow the meeting because I don't have the detail in front of me, and I'm wondering if somebody could forward them through to us, myself and Tim.
Thanks, Mary. Okay, so confirmation of the minutes from the last meeting. Someone happy to move those? Thank you, Jim.
Move the-
Second, yes.
Thank you. All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary? Getting better, James. Right. Shall we? Thank you. Excellent. So now that everyone's ready, the first item of the meeting, which is on page 8, is the report for the appointment of the chair and the deputy chair for the Lake Taupō Protection Project Joint Committee. Over to you.
Look, I was going to arguably take the report as read, but given that we have a couple of members who have only just received the agenda, I'll take my time and walk through it so everybody's got an understanding about what this first item is about. At the start of each triennium, following the local election, we need to go through the process of appointing the chair and the deputy chair for the joint committee. So this is a procedural matter that we have to undertake at this first meeting of the joint committee meeting. I won't outline what the chair's responsibilities are. I think we're all very familiar with the role of the chairperson and the role of the deputy chairperson, essentially stepping in when the chair isn't present. But what I will explain is the process for that appointment. So, clause 25 of schedule C, I've seen that many times now. Then we must have a process of selecting which licenses we would like to implement the process. There are two systems, a system A and a system B. A system A is essentially what is described as progressive voting system. So under system A, you go through a number of rounds of voting until a majority is received. Given we have 8 members on the joint committee, a majority is 5. If we get to a situation where there is a tie result, then we have to resolve that by a lot. And what we're suggesting a lot in the circumstances is drawing a name from that. The second system, system B, is straightforward. It is first past the post, essentially. So one round voting and whoever gets the most votes in that one round voting. If you're again, whatever process you adopt and resolve in. So now that I've explained the system, what's recommended in the report is that we take nominations for the chair position first. If there are more than one nomination put forward, that's when we'll address the voting system, because if there's no contest, there's no point, and or no need, I should say, to adopt a voting system. Each nominee will be given some time to talk to the nomination and the voting process. Once the chairperson is appointed, then the chairperson will assume the chair, and the chairperson will complete the process of electing the chair. Any questions? potential.
Excellent. Thank you for that explanation. That's very helpful. So I guess we're calling for nominations for the chair.
Through the chair, I've got nominate Councillor Leonard.
Oliver, I'd like to nominate Councillor Downer.
So at this point, we do need to decide the system for voting for determine those nominations. So if I can revert back to the paper, and thank you very much for that explanation, Marley. On page 10 of the agenda is the outline of the two options.
Sorry, Madam Chairman. If I haven't got a second.
Apologies, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if I
thank
haven't
you.
got a second, then I've got willing to stand down, but I would like to talk.
Yeah,
to the
apologies.
nomination.
Yeah.
So we first move that the report be
Be
received,
received. Okay,
get that vote,
Sure.
and then we can step through to each of these.
apologies. Okay, so calling to the first one, which is receiving the report. So those move, thank you. Seconded?
Yep.
Thank you. All in favour? Thank you, and thank you online.
Share it on the screen so you know exactly the wording.
Sure. So back to meeting, we're just putting the report on the screen so everyone can see the options.
Yes, this is the first resolution. This is where you pick the A or B.
Yeah. So at this point in time, we have one nomination which has been moved and seconded, and we have one nomination which for the chair, which has been moved and calling for a seconder.
James, I wonder if it might be useful to put the two nominees up on the screen, type the names out, just so that there is absolute clarity for those online who the nominations are. Would that be useful? Thank you. And we might even put up there nominated by, seconded by, so everybody's clear about where in the process we're at.
So name forward by Carly and then seconded by Councillor Williamson.
Okay.
That were nominated by Councillor Williamson.
Moved by
Seconded.
By Peter Shepherd. Nominated by Councillor Williamson and seconded by Peter Shepherd. No.
need to write that part down.
Thank you, James. And so where we're at in the process is we have a nomination of Councillor Kylie Leonard for the chairperson, nominated by Councillor John Williamson, seconded by Peter Shepherd. And we've also got a nomination for Councillor Michael Downard, moved by Councillor Stu Kneebone, and the chair has asked for a seconder.
Silence is killing. I'm quite happy to stand down and you know, the only reason why I actually gave Kylie a ring and chat to her. I'm on the Waikato Regional Transport Committee, and I just felt as though that these two entities need a lot more collaboration with, especially what happened over the last couple of weeks with the truck going into our beautiful lake, and plus also having past history on council and when this was first hatched, the trust and collaboration between the government, Waikato Regional Council, iwi and Taupō and Taupō District Council. So obviously passionate to get onto this committee and try and give it that extra structure, no doubt by the years. So that's the reason why I want things. So yes, I haven't got
Appreciate it. I'll have Mike and nice phone call. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
And then on the silence, it's an extra second, so you've got my full support.
Appreciate it.
It's going to have an election, so.
Excellent. So we do have a recommendation, which is the appointment of the chair. So Councillor Lennon. So those in favour, please say aye. Those against?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you very kindly. That is my role done for this morning. So thank you very much for that. And I will exit the chair and hand over to your chair.
Team, and thank you for the re-election to the chair position. Welcome to our new members and welcome to our previous members coming in. I was a little bit concerned, Lorena and Gwyn, that you hadn't received the documents. Are you okay to proceed with how we're looking with not having received that?
I did receive the documents, so I'm actually looking at
Okay,
them
sorry,
now.
Gwyn.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, Gwyn, you go.
That's okay. I'm done.
No, Gwyn's sent them through to us now. For some reason, we weren't included on the email list looking at the original email, but I've got them in front of me now. I'm quite happy to just quickly work through them as we go through the discussion. I think if we were to defer it any longer, we're going to lose time in what is a critical period. So my preference would be to just continue, Madam Chair.
I 100% agree with you, Lorena. I just wanted to afford you the opportunity just having that piece of information be received. So thank you.
The agenda.
Lorena, were you referring to the agenda James has just asked, or all of the documents?
The original, all the documents, we hadn't received them. And I've been away and just got back in, but it's okay. Gwyn's passed them through to us now, so we've got them in front of us.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sorry, Whanganui.
I also didn't receive them. I got them from my counterpart Peter yesterday, so I haven't had the opportunity to fully read and review them as of yet. So just for your information, I'll be a little bit reactive as we go through it.
Kia ora, Whanganui. Thank you for informing us of that. The next item on our agenda is item 5, the second part, which is the appointment of a deputy chair for the Lake Taupō Project Joint Committee. I would like to call for nominations.
I nominate Mike.
Thanks, you. Joe, could I get a seconder for that? Thanks, Peter. Do we have any other nominations? So we just take that to vote, James? Those in favour of electing councillor Downhard as our deputy chair? Those in favour? Anyone against? Carried. Thank you. Okay, item 6 on our agenda is a review of the Lake Taupō Protection Project. We've got the independent review findings that came through from KPMG. We have a draft of the report before us. We're going to have the item presented by yourself, Marley, is that correct?
Madam Chair, yes, I am lined up to do a brief overview of the report, but we are going to be joined today by KPMG, the organisation who undertook the review and produced the report, and they are due to join us at 11:30. And so, with your permission, would it be appropriate to take another item first before perhaps we address the independent review?
I'm happy to do that. In that position, Mr. Stent, are you in a position to be able to move through the quarterly update?
Certainly, Madam Chair, I think we can take all of that.
Okay. You happy?
Yeah, I'll just make note in the minutes, but I was just going to suggest we can adjourn for a little bit, and I can try to call him and see if we can get him here.
Okay, well, do you want to do that and Clayton will carry on with this? I'm just quite conscious that our two wharetoa representatives have another meeting on at the moment and they will be trying to move at pace to get to their next. So moving to item 7 on the agenda, the quarterly update compliance with NDRAs. If we just hand over to Mr. Stent, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll take the report as read. It is what it is, an update of where, from a management point of view, we are at this point. So happy to take any questions.
No questions here. Thank you. We have a recommendation there that the report. Oh.
Can I scroll down to it? There we go.
That the report quarterly update compliance with NRDA's 21st of November 2022 be received. We've had that moved by Councillor Kneebone, and could I get a seconder for that, please? Thank you, Councillor Williamson. Those in favour? Anyone against? Carried. Thank you. Thank you.
So I suggest that we adjourn for like maybe 5 minutes, give a chance to give a call, because he was not supposed to come until 11:30. We've breezed through this already.
Yeah. Okay.
He's trying to call him.
If we could just take an adjournment for 5 minutes, please, team. If we could go and get a coffee. I understand, Tom. I'm feeling really bad that you and Peter have got. I know that you've got your other meetings that you need to be at fairly promptly, but Marley's online trying to get a hold of KPMG.
Are we able to deal with those fixed notes?
There's literally nothing in the minutes that's controversial. We could move them and open. We wouldn't necessarily need to go to PAX to do that.
Just got Jane presence if we're going to move into.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing in them that's like we, unless you're going to debate them. And if you just move and second it, we could just.
Jane, we're just looking to move to the confidential item. There's very little within the confidential item. Are you happy to step out just for a moment or two, and then we'll ask you to step back in? Is that? I think it'll be a very brief charade session out there, and we'll ask you to come back in if that's okay. Thank you. Just moving to item 8.
William, stop the recording.
One moment.
Reasons